Perfidious Bede here, ready to strap on my kaiju boots and go do Raleigh Beckett proud out on the pustulent pastures of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. Come on, Miko, let's go. We gotta go get in the drift here. I gotta link up with the other half of my brain. Just thinking about that, I never really thought about the implications of that before, but when you're in the drift, it takes two people to control Gypsy Danger. She's such a fabulous machine. Really, like each of you are like serving as one half of a contralateralized brain, so does that make Miko the other half of your soul? Raleigh Beckett, I never expected you to be so deep. But, you know, the main point is, digression aside, there's a kaiju on the loose. We got a horrid shrieker out there, and if I'm going to go battle a big bird, I need to get ready and get my shit together. Otherwise, Godzilla's going to have to show up. And you know what? This campaign may not be going perfectly, but I don't really feel like we've reached the Godzilla threshold yet. Somebody's like, Pete, what's the Godzilla threshold? Well, the Godzilla threshold is the point at which things are so bad that even if Godzilla showed up to solve the problem, it's not going to make matters worse. And you're like, well, Pete, Godzilla is a savior of the people. Godzilla loves the people. Really? Ask the people of Tokyo how much they love having Godzilla show up to show their problems. If Godzilla's on the scene, things are as bad as they could possibly get. Godzilla knows, too, by the way. He knows that he has considerable collateral damage potential, and he just doesn't show up for every minor trouble. There'd be like, oh, Godzilla, there's a tsunami that's going to push 7 to 8 foot waves into downtown Tokyo. It's going to cause some major flooding. What are you going to do? Godzilla's like, I'm going to stay at home. If I come, I'm going to cause bigger waves just wading out of the surf, and then probably at some point I'll spin around too fast and not pay attention to where my tail is, and bam, Tokyo Towers goes tumbling into the ocean. It's really best if Godzilla sits this one out. And the Godzilla threshold is the point where you'd be like, well, you know, even if Godzilla shows up to fight this monster and destroys most of the city, and he will do that because that's how Godzilla operates, it really can't be any worse. Just wait in there. We may be approaching a Godzilla threshold, but we're not there yet, so we can't even go fight the kaiju. This is a champion level dungeon, and we don't have any champion guys. I had assumed that the Streaker would sort of scale to match the progression of our team, but apparently that is not the case. So I was going to send Prospero, Lounce, Hippolyta, and Rosencrantz out to fight the Streaker, but, well, there's really no point in doing that now, is there? Might as well have them do something else. Don't need the medic Screeves. Honestly, I don't necessarily need to send him in the dungeon. Prospero does have a little more stress than I'm comfortable with. A dazzling mirror. 5 speed versus bloodsuckers, plus 30% stun skill chance versus bloodsuckers, and 12 deeds. That's a lot of deeds. It's probably more deeds than Mr. Deeds, and I think we can all agree that Mr. Deeds, the remake with Adam Sandler, probably had 99 to 99.99% too much deeds. It's also a ton of money. The other drawback, though, is it's also a long dungeon to explore 90% of rooms. These guys are not going to fare well in a long dungeon because they really have no kind of stress mitigation. What's going on in the cove? Nothing we're interested in. What are our other options then? A caregiver's convention? That probably will summon some Vestals to the hamlet, which is an idea I do not despise. What else have we got? Shitty unmovable helmet. A Book of Rage. You know, it's intriguing. Oh, you know, the Book of Rage would actually be fan-freaking-tastic. That would be fantastic for a flagellant. Like, ridiculously good. Ha. And we don't have one, do we? Do we have a Book of Rage? Okay, hold on. Unequip all trinkets. Sort these by rarity. Do we have a Book of Rage? We should go get the Book of Rage then. I really like flagellants. They're really good. This is a medium-length mission to explore 90% of rooms. We don't have it. Do we have a team that can do it, I guess, then would be the question. A medium-length mission. All right, what could we put together? We could go with Gloucester and Falstaff, I guess, in the front 2 spots, and then we could fling in maybe Sycorax and Pocket, or we could go with like Lavinia. That team doesn't really have a healer, and on a short-length mission, I would be okay with running healerless, but on a medium-length mission, that just seems like a bad idea. Let's grab Lavinia, and then we need somebody to work out of this third slot. Who could it be now? Who can it be now? I suppose we could take Pocket. He's a little lower level than I'd like, but not the end of the world. Alternatively, we could have Sycorax go in there, force her to guard. I mean, it's not... You know what? Yeah. An Antiquarian also has the added advantage of giving us an opportunity for some sweet loot. So, I'm not super enthused with this particular team dynamic, but it's probably good enough to get the job done. I mean, it is just a medium-length mission, and we're just going to the cove here. I mean, it's not like we're fighting our way into the heart of Fallujah. We're going to, like, downtown Toronto for sushi. It's not that big of a deal. Is Toronto a town that's noted for its sushi? Don't question me. What do we want to give you, then? Gloucester? Bonus damage would be nice. I don't really want you taking additional stress. Junia's head we may give to Lavinia if we can find something to counter the stress to go with it. Bonus protection is good. The Ancestor's Candle is just straight up fantastic. Like, it's good in every respect. Also, I feel like that's more of a Falstaff kind of an item. What can we give you to go with that? We are going to... I honestly forgot where we're going. Cove? Are we going to the Cove? We're going to the Cove, right? The Cove. Gonna be very few human monsters down in the Cove, so a Manslayer's Ring is probably not our best bet. We could go for a little... We could go really to ramp up the damage, but... I think what we'll do, let's give Gloucester a Sun Ring, because we're going to keep that high. We're going to keep our light levels high. Kevin Signet, nobody has the Crimson Curse. We have no need for that. Legendary Bracer, no real need for that either. What else do we have that's going to couple well with that? We could go for a Damage Stone, but I like to keep his dodge a little higher. We could get rid of a Move Stone. That gives us bonus dodge. I mean, I'd rather get my speed up so I could get my riposte ability off that much faster. Alternatively, we'd go for the Survival Guide. Do we have anything that's just plus speed? Maybe like a Speed Stone or something? Move Stone, Move Charm, Disease Charm, Protection Stone, Stun Stone, everything but speed, don't we? Light, yep, Swordsman's Crest. Everything but speed? No, we do have a Speed Stone, it's just only +1 speed. I kind of want more than 1 speed. If I only had 1 speed, it would definitely be a Scott Speedman from Underworld Evolution. Because... you know, his name has the word speed in it. Reckless Charm. I'm kind of feeling like maybe a Speed Stone is going to actually be our best bet. I can't believe that, but yeah. We have nothing better than a Speed Stone to give this man. Literally nothing better than a Speed Stone. You got to be shitting me. We have nothing better than a Speed Stone. I'm floored. We don't have any range skills, so giving you a dodge... Okay, I guess we'll just take a Speed Stone then, because nothing can ever be good or kind. What do we want to give you to back up? If we're going to stack damage on you, we should really just, like, go crazy and stack a bunch of damage. It'd give you a speed penalty for more stress boost, but your speed is... Well, giving you a speed penalty when your speed is already a 1 actually hardly seems relevant, does it? Just going to give you a lot of extra stress, but you have a stress... You know what? You can fix your own stress. I'm tired of messing with you. Fix your own damn problems. Why is it always got to be me? Why do I got to fix everybody's problems? I'm just an idiot. Why are the world's troubles my issue suddenly? I say to hell with the world. Also, I say to hell with that bag of marbles. I'm going to actually go with the Survival Guide instead. And for Lavinia, pretty much garden variety, nothing fancy. Are we going to do the Haste Chalice? We could do Junia's Head. It's going to give us a bunch of bonus stress, but Junia's Head and the Haste Chalice seems reasonable. Is this our team? Yep, this is our team. It's as good as I can do on short notice. Let's get this provision, get in the cove, and go see if we can get ourselves a pretty damn good item for our flagellant. Give me 2 full stacks of torches on a medium mission. Triple shovels is probably fine. A couple full stacks of food. 2 bandages, 2 anti-venoms, 2 medicinal herbs. 1 key, I guess. And we already have a holy water. Let's do this. I feel like I've adjusted to the Crimson Court DLC, and I'm back in a swing of buying provisions appropriately. For a while, I was having a little trouble figuring out what to take on missions, because they've changed the way halls are laid out a little bit. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. But I think I've got enough experience with Crimson Court that I've recalculated the paradigm, and this dungeon layout is an absolute abomination. Explore 90% of rooms sucks because we can skip with how many rooms we got here? What is that, 5? We can only skip 2. Well, we could skip 2, but that still means we have to go down this way, which means we still have to fight 2 pointless fights in order to get down here. Thanks, Darkest Dungeon. Appreciate it. You're helping a brother out. On a day when I'm having not a great day here, I'll be like, oh, you know, Darkest Dungeon, take it easy on me a little bit here, bro. I'm not having a great... What do? You're not taking it easy on me. Good start from Lavinia, electrifying the fish man. Here comes our stress wave. Alright. 15 stress is quite a bit. Seaward slash. We're going to be taking some damage here, too. And our overall healing capacity is not fantastic. Ouch, that hurt. Spearfished as well. Give me my retribution. Let's start with, say, you. Get bonked in a dome, squishy. Alright, and you are going to force him to guard you. We're doubling up now. Here comes the brine attack. Of course, it's going at Lavinia. Getting to throw in that line over here to try and help our... give me a quick, cheap riposte. Looking for the quick, cheap riposte. You gotta help a brother out. And Call of the Deep, which is a pretty significant buff, and these guys are hard to kill. Getting a little bit of action out of our retribution there. Honestly, I think, can we just crush this man's skull? There we go. Get rid of the seaward slash. Those guys with their high critical rate, they are extraordinarily dangerous opponents. Sycorax probably going for the blight attack here is the way to go. Just because this guy has a really high protection rating and relatively low health. I thought we might be able to get our full way home, but nope. Missed it by 1. The dodge and the riposte for the toss, though. Nicely done. Good combination work, team. You guys are firing well together. Operating on all cylinders. I appreciate it. Love it when a plan comes together. Just don't steal the loot. Okay, see, you can touch all of the curios that you want. That's why I brought you into... Oh, Darius Rucker. I love you, Darius. Never, When is Hootie and the Blowfish getting back together, Darius? You gotta do it. You gotta get the band back together, man. The public, the listening public like myself. We've been waiting for so many years. Time for a union tour, Darius. Getting surprised with this team, this is one of the few teams where I won't ever be salty about surprising the enemy. I forgot that was single target. For some reason, I thought that was going to hit both of them. This man is still the bigger threat. This is one of the few teams, though, that I won't really complain about surprising the enemy on, because it gives us an opportunity to get our riposte synergy working early and working strong. Right, that's fatal damage on the Cultist Brawler. I should have forced you to guard him, huh? And I definitely didn't do that. Now, okay, we dodged the stress. That's nice. 1 kill, dodge the stress. Octocestus boy's gonna whack us. Throwing a barnacle barrier. That's gonna make that guy pretty tough to kill. We don't have a lot of bleed attacks or anything we can use to chew through this guy's high protection. But as long as Lavinia keeps dodging the stress attacks, we really don't have to care. 10 damage riposte is also very nice. Let's get rid of this dude.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
We are currently riposting, so let's have you... You know what? Oh, right, he's guarding. Forgot about that. I was going to say, just crush this man's skull. I forgot that he was being guarded. Let's start sacking some blight on this Octocestus man in front. Might as well just keep wailing on him. This Pelagic Guardian's going to take a while to chip down if we're doing it 2 blight damage at a time. Octocestus firing back. Get this man dead. Call of the Deep. See, giving this guy stacking Call of the Deep on this guy makes him really, really, really dangerous. Could probably use an AoE. Nice critical. Correct target, too, because he is the most injured, so we're going to have you guard. Pete, didn't you want to have him go with the riposte attack and then have her do the guard? No, I actually wanted her throwing that blight attack. if we could have got anything at all out of Falstaff there, the blight might have been fatal damage. Octocesta slicing this open, and it did stick to bleed. There's another stress wave. I doubt we're going to dodge 3 in a row. Yeah. 22 stress is unfortunate. Go for the retributive bonk. Couldn't you give me one more damage there, bro? I needed 1 more damage. Elijah Guardian takes 1, and he has 6 blight, so he's fatal. Let's do a little directed heal on our boy Falstaff, and somebody just has to come up with a kill on a guy we can't actually hit. So I guess we'll just do some stress relief.
Slowly.
We'll get it back around to him. Somebody been a speed roll. Nope. Somebody take a bunch of pointless stress. Yeah, there we go. That's real good. Ton of extra pointless stress. Fantastic. Do I want to use the bandage? How much are we bleeding for? 4. May as well. Do I want to throw something on the ground in favor of picking up a jade? At this time, no. I think the answer is no. I mean, we're coming back this way, too. That's the other thing. If we're going to go explore these 2 rooms, we might as well leave that curio. Maybe we'll use some interactables on the way. Maybe we'll get in 8 trillion pointless fights. Who knows what could happen? The world is our oyster at this point. How do we get the infestation level to go down to a point where every hallway fight we get in is not a fight with Crimson Court monsters? I'm genuinely curious how we can make that happen. Genuinely curious. Really need to get our riposte attack off. See, it's a lot of damage we just cost ourselves right there. So retributive bonk. Beautiful. Excellent work. I hate everything. I hate everything. Alright. Please just kill something, anything, one thing. Comes the elusive exit. Joke's on you.
Festering fear consumes the mind.
My mind is completely consumed right now, but let me tell you, Wayne, my mind is not consumed with fear. What my mind is currently consumed with is fucking rage. We resisted the Crimson Curse. See, that's my concern, is I don't want every single possible member of my team to wind up having the Crimson Curse. And if we can't get the infestation level to go down to a point where every hallway battle is not against these monsters, we're ultimately going to wind up where everybody every seeker has the Crimson Curse. And then we're just going to have to start firing people with the Crimson Curse. Beautiful dodge, by the way, Gloucester. I don't want that to have to be a thing, but the more experience I get with this and the more missions I go on without finding a way to make our infestation level go down, the more convinced I am that just ultimately it's going to be everyone, hey, that all of the seekers that you care about, they all have the Crimson Curse, Pete, all of them. And then you're churning through a bunch of like low-level seekers. Thank you, Falstaff. And then what's going to wind up happening though is we'll be chewing through a bunch of low-level seekers to try and send them into the courtyard just to get enough blood to keep the people we want to keep on their feet. It seems like it's got the potential to be one of those real vicious cycle kind of scenarios, and the only place vicious cycles belong is in a spin class sponsored by me, Perfidious Pete. You want to sign up for my vicious cycle spin class, you know, just drop a comment down in the comments section and let me know. If I get enough support, I'm pretty sure I can get Gold's Gym to pick it up. Rotting fish carcass. Let's throw some medicinal herbs on it.
If only treasure could staunch the flow.
Picked up a torch, which I used immediately, and I'm not sure why. We didn't actually need to use that torch. There's no reason not to explore the end of this hallway now. The damage is already done. Base relief. Never remember what goes on a base relief. Let's just poke it. Whatever. You're afraid of Satan. Honestly, is that actually a phobia? Isn't a fear of Satan sort of a rational fear? And right now somebody's like, Pete, Satan is mythical. No fear of Satan could possibly be a rational fear. Okay, fine. But let's say, let's say you have a different belief system and a different mythos running in your head. In which case, like the devil is real and actively trying to destroy you. Wouldn't a fear of Satan then be justified and rational? Not sure satanophobia actually qualifies as a phobia. Seems like it would qualify more as a philosophy than anything else. To be like, oh no, you know, Pete the Devil is real. That's a thing that exists. He is actively working to try and steal my soul away from the other mythical man who lives in the sky as opposed to underground. Well, no reason to not open this other than it was trapped and we're bleeding. You know what? You're just going to have to suck on the bleed because I think we threw away our bandages. Yeah, I threw them in the floor. I have a habit of doing that. We do. This is a medium-length mission, so, you know, we do have the opportunity to camp. Wow, that bleed really rocked your world, girl. Homegirl got ruined by a bleed. And, you know, oh, okay. Brackish Tide Pool. Brackish Tide Pool is, I think, medicinal herbs, and I think it gets rid of... You have every negative quirk ever. Winded is not... Okay, like a couple of yours are bad. Falstaff, Fragile, and Love Interest. Neither one of the... Well, Fragile kind of sucks, but... Dyspomania, Fear of Eldritch. Thanatophobia. It's a fear of death, I'm assuming. Alright, we're gonna have you do this. So this should be medicinal herbs. No. Brackish Tide Pool is anti-venom. Yes! All that did was heal us. For some reason, I was convinced that would get rid of a quirk.
Another mariner?
I don't come to the cove enough. I think the lesson with me and interacting with curios in the cove is just, Pete, you know, you don't come down to the cove. Well, you have a terrible memory to begin with, and possibly you're having a stroke right now. Just to complicate matters further. But you don't come to the cove enough to fully internalize the curio interactions down here. Not that that's not true of every other location as well, but I've probably spent the least time in the cove of any of the locations. Except for maybe the Crimson Court. And honestly, I'm not even sure if the Crimson Court at this point, I think maybe sort of playing catch up. I really don't come to the cove very much because I don't like it. I mean, it's not quite hashtag fuck the Weald territory, but yeah, it is borderline Weald territory. It'd be hashtag fuck the Weald, but it'd also be hashtag, you know, the cove sucks too. Grab another sack here. Sack's contents are ours. This one actually had something in it. This is nice. We have picked up quite a bit of extra loot. Just an extra 3,000 in gold here from the fact that we brought an antiquarian on the mission to boat anchor us. I like the antiquarian's dynamic. I'd like to see more. I know they're adding a new class to Darkest Dungeon very soon. In fact, by the time this video goes live, that class may be out. We're getting a lot of hunger prompts as well. That class may actually already be out. But I like classes like the Antiquarian. They have, objectively, they do one really good thing, but then also, you know, they've got some quirks and workarounds. I like classes that have positives and negatives. I like the deepening dynamic. I don't want just a class to be like, oh, this class is just amazingly good all the time. That's not what I'm looking for. I want a little more interaction, a little more opportunity to find synergies and things that work well together. A little more opportunities for, like, creative play. We should be able to finish those two off with the Jacques now. Redigestion, post. Some good damage off of that. Okay, so give me the Jacques. Sweet. 10 damage on this guy, who I think is also holding an invitation to the Baron's Courtyard. 6 damage off to the post. We took Blight. How much? 6. That's not much. Get ruined, son! I love it that he hit me with an enraging slight, and then as a response to being slighted, I flew into a rage and smashed his face in with a blunt instrument. Like, you know, you probably shouldn't have enraged me, bro. Don't enrage me, bro! Supplicant came up a little bit short. That's fine. We're going to kill you with the Retributive Bonk. And that just leaves Falstaff, who I think probably won't be able to hit this guy. But Predigestion is it's a move. It's going to push him forward. This guy's definitely dead now, and we got double Blight. Let's get rid of him. Found an invitation to the Baron's Court. Almost as importantly, we picked up a couple food. Shockingly, we really need food badly. We've been eating a lot. Warrior needs food badly. Psychorax, you know what to do. I mean, Steel, apparently, be like, Psychorax, you know what to do? And she's like, yeah, I know what to do. Start stealing stuff. Nobody's looking. I'm gonna throw a mannequin through a store window and start looting. A lot of empty hallways here. Maybe this mission just is gonna turn out to have been really front-loaded. We'll have gotten all the annoying, irritating shit out of the way up front. Sacks contents are ours. Extra 100
waiting
gold.
to be spent.
You... Really, even with the survival guide, you only have a 70% trap disarm chance, huh? Well, you're doing it anyway, because that's your job. Disarming traps and touching strange things down in the inky sewers beneath the Perfidious manor. Well, that's got antiquarian written all over it. You're down here looking for antiques. Like this antique backpack that you could pick up, refurbish slightly, and sell to a hipster for $900. Come on, man. Don't you want an antique backpack? You know you do. Look at it. It's vintage. This is a vintage backpack right here. This was probably carried by Ernest Hemingway during his travels after World War I when he was writing, you know, Farewell to Arms. See, Farewell to Arms may have been written during the war. At least part of it, perhaps. More touching the... Yep. Touch the trap. Nicely done. It's all about the trap touching. Let's get keep the torchlight high. This lady is just... She's greedy for booty. And not in a good way. I'd be like, hey, oh, this lady's greedy for booty. I'd be like, good, that's my kind of lady. I'd take her out and have her pick me up some girls. Be like, hey, that chick's hot. Go pick her up. Lavinia starting things off to the thunder of applause of the crowd. Now we just got to get this thrall before he explodes and kills everyone. Honestly, that may be a little difficult to do. Or Gloucester could just straight up one-shot him. That was pretty freaking amazing. We're not riposting, but forcing the guard is still the right move. Give me the Jacques for pathetic damage. I was just going to step in front of that brine, hold up the shield. Let's do a little AoE heal. Whole team's a little banged up. Gloucester a little more than everybody else. Stick that guy with the blight. Now if we Jacques him again, we should be able to get the kill. Nice dodge from Falstaff. Give me the retributive bonk. Just in case we don't get him, we want the retributive bonk working. See, we got two. Okay, we got it.
Slow death, unforeseen.
Just hedging my bets a little bit. Touch this unlock strong box. Its contents are ours. 100 gold and some blood. All right. What we got going here? More Crimson Court monsters. Don't get the curse, though. At this point, every dungeon I go into, my whole goal is to just not get the Crimson Curse. Be like, all I want to do is get out of here without having a Crimson Curse. It's my only objective. Got to figure out a way to get there. I'm guessing probably once we kill the Baron or something, maybe that will reduce the infestation levels. That seems like a mechanic that would be sensible. But just because it seems like it would be sensible, I mean, this is Darkest Dungeon. That may have absolutely nothing to do with it at all. Wonderful. I'm telling you, at this rate, just everybody's going to have the Crimson Curse. Everybody is going to have it. We're fighting so many fights that are against Crimson Court monsters that it's just, on a long enough timeline, they're all going to wind up with it. It's a Chuck Palahniuk situation here. On a long enough timeline, survivability for everybody drops to 0. I guess we can second Lavinia into our alternate team of Crimson Curse having people, so we'll have a Vestal, we'll have a Grave Digger, we'll have a Flagellant. I mean, that sort of seems like it has the pieces of a respectable party in it. Hit you with the Retributive Bonk and refresh our Retribution. You're gonna get chopped in half. That team doesn't really have any kind of stress mitigation whatsoever.
Cannot be left unanswered.
So they're gonna be spending a lot of their downtime trying to deal with the Crimson Curse. Or rather, they're going to be accumulating a lot of we need blood downtime while I'm also being forced to pay to grind their stress down, because when that team goes in a mission, they're going to have, I mean, they're just going to come out with a lot of stress. Too many people are getting a Crimson Curse, and it's possible we're also like one room from the finish, by the way. I love the fact that we picked up our bonus Crimson Curse. Literally 1 room from Triumph. That's absolutely perfect. There's not even going to be a room battle in here. It's just we're going to walk into this empty room and I'm going to be unspeakably salty. Told you. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to camp and leave. I don't want to risk anybody else coming down with the Crimson Curse from another pointless hallway battle.
In tenuous firelight.
Alright, who can relieve stress? You have... You lose 25 stress, and we prevent nighttime ambush simultaneously. Alright, that's acceptable. What else can we do? Really, all we're interested in here is stress relief. We have encourage, weapons practice. We don't need any of that. Can you encourage? You can encourage. Encourage this man. Gloucester looks very blue. You can encourage, yeah, go ahead. Let's just cross some encouragement here. You could bless, don't need it. Sanctuary, honestly, don't need it. Tell him to stand tall. Get Gloucester some of that stress back. Remain vigilant, my friend, and then we will rest. Safe from a nighttime ambush. Would have loved to have gotten the global stress relief from having enough food to feast, but we ran out.
The light, the promise of safety.
Don't give me lights and promises of safety, Wayne June.
Despite
I'm beginning to wonder if maybe the Crimson Curse on a low-level trooper isn't just an auto-fire. Be like, oh, you got the Crimson Curse and you're not at least a veteran seeker? Well, guess what? You're fired! It's just like, in this case, when Lavinia is only an adventurer, we should just be like, see you in hell, Lavinia. Don't come back. Faded is decent. Spotted fever is gonna need to be cured. Gloucester has rabies, which... Rabies is one I'm prone to just kind of let percolate for a little while and see whether it's good or bad. Dark Temptation is not great. Deadly is okay. +1 critical, which I don't think actually applies to heals. It's a little problematic. It'd be nice if you could really stack critical. If you could just stack critical on heals, it'd be fantastic. Othello's thirsting for the blood. Hippolytus controlled their curse. Romeo drank a vial of blood.
Of hope.
How did Romeo, by the way, Romeo drank a vial of blood? Oh, never mind. I was going to say, how did he drink a vial of blood? He wasn't even in town. But that's Malvolio I'm thinking of, who actually was not in town. So probably that's going to be our next mission. Then it's going to be back into the dungeon with Team Curse-a-Lot. Although Lavinia is now a member of Team Curse-a-Lot. We're going to have to get Lavinia up to level 3 so she can roll with Romeo and Juliet. It's going to be Othello, Malvolio, Perdita, and Lady Macbeth. Alternatively, what we could do is, since Lavinia already has the Crimson Curse, maybe we try to get her to level 3, and if Perdita can continue to buck convention and fight the odds and wind up with not the Crimson Curse, maybe we send her in instead. I don't necessarily hate that plan. Maybe she's the replacement. Maybe she's our replacement seeker. We'll see. We're going to send Perdita in on the next time because we really got to get back down to the dungeon. And if she manages to come out after, like, I think it might be her 4th trip in, without 4 trips in without coming through the Crimson Curse, then perhaps she's just forever immune and we can ensure that she remains forever immune by swapping in somebody who already has it. No need for a raincoat when you're already wet. Also, no need to continue this episode when it's over. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see the Crimson Curse slowly infect the entirety of our roster, I consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes of Darkest Dungeon every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, thanks very much for watching. See you again soon.